Good morning, everybody. It's Jolene. Let's Mills Combat Week 6, Day 3. Today was Combat 60. I didn't know if it was Ultimate Fighter or live, so I did live. Yeah, it was incredible. I literally just finished, and it was great. I got two things I want to talk about today. So hopefully this won't be too long. I've been thinking about it and praying about it all morning. For those of you who know me or are just getting to know me, you know that I am a Christian. I follow Christ. Lent started today. I get a lot of questions about what are you giving up. I did a lot of writing about Lent in the last couple of years. I didn't grow up in a household that observed Lent. And then throughout time at a church in Chicago, I really began to embrace it. But there was something always gnawing at me about the giving up part. Only because, and I hope you don't, this doesn't sound like a judgment, but only because I would hear people saying, I'm giving up chocolate. And yet on day 41, they'd be back eating chocolate. And not that that sacrifice didn't mean something, but for me personally, I wanted something more. I wanted something life-changing. And when I look at that scripture where Jesus is being tempted in the desert, and I'm no theologian, my husband is, so maybe you can check me on this, George, but when I read those scriptures and the temptations that he endured from Satan, when he left the desert, he didn't then go back and embrace the things he was tempted over. So he was hungry, turned this stone into bread. He didn't, obviously. When he got back, he didn't gorge on bread. You know, so maybe that is a real simple-minded and layman's approach to Lent, but that is exactly why, and maybe you'll think that this is weak, I don't give up coffee because I know that I'm not in a place where I'm willing to sacrifice it and make it a life change for the long run. So my thoughts on Lent are not only of the giving up, but of the giving of. And for me personally, I'm a pretty disciplined person, but the area where I lack is giving God my time in the morning. I sleep in. I have made great strides, however, because last year, I decided to start getting up 15 minutes earlier, grabbing my Kindle and reading my Bible app. And while that hasn't been completely consistent, it has definitely improved because that is an area of my life that I want to improve upon, a sacrifice that I want to continue for the long haul. Do I like my sleep? Yeah. Do I like coffee? Do I like chocolate? That's why, for me, it's just not about giving up something that you like. I like exercise. I like Facebook because it's where I get to interact with my friends and with my prospects. I like exercise because it makes me a better mom. It gives me clarity. It gives me focus. It really actually helps me commune with God. So it's not about giving up something you like. For me, personally, it's about more than that. Giving up something you like that you wish to improve upon for the long term. That makes sense. So for those of you who have contemplated leaving Facebook, but you are in my challenge groups, I would ask you, I guess this is a question for me, is the challenge group not feeding you the support that you need or the encouragement that you need, that you wouldn't want to stay for the 40 days and be uplifted and supported by the people that you've made commitments to? So that's your thing to think about. Okay, so the second thing is motivation. Let's get something straight. You will never find your motivation from an outside source. You may think that I'm motivating you. I am not. I can't give you an internal motivation or an internal drive to do anything. I can inspire you with my progress. I can inspire you with the stories of others who have gone before you, but I can't create in you a motivation to get this done. Motivation is a skill that you need to learn. For me, personally, I get motivation from the power of Scripture. I get motivation from personal development books. I study. I'm still a student, even at 43 years old. So if you're thinking, give me motivation, that's something you probably need to check at the door because you have to have it yourself. Okay, I've gone on way too long. That was a lot. So I guess my tips for today are really think about Lent and what it is that you would like to develop in your life, okay? And two, check yourself on the motivation and what you are, what you're putting your hope in to motivate you. If that's an external source, then probably it's really not going to get you where you want to be. Love you so much. Bye-bye.